All right. So, hello to you on this day 5 of the challenge, Fast Forward to Now. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it, right? We've talked about all kinds of things. Today, what I want to offer you is a way to put all of those small steps together so that you can have a tool that's going to help you build every single day, right? How can you get back to you every single day? And that's pretty much what I want to be talking about today. So, hi, my name is Suzanne Zapuy. I'm a life leadership coach and a soul mystic. I love helping my clients rebooting their world and their life on their purpose. And fast forward to now is sort of like the first step that I suggest, right? So, how can we take away from everything that we've put into place because we've programmed ourselves either through past experiences or through hopes and dreams? How do we refocus, realign so that we can come back to today and start building our life today, right? There's something really interesting when I heard the words, the only time we actually do anything is in the now. We can't do anything about yesterday. We can't do anything about tomorrow. The only place we can do that is in today, in the now. So that's why it's so powerful to come back to now, right? So today what I'm going to offer you is a way to step back. So we're going to be doing the steps that we've seen through challenges 1 through 4, but doing it a little bit in reverse. So we're going to start by speaking our truth so that we know where we stand, what we like, what we don't like. Go to those power words and understand which one trigger us in the right direction and which one doesn't. Talk about the now, right? What's the intention for the now? Not what you had for yesterday, not what you had for tomorrow, but for today. How do you stand now about all of it? And where do you stand in your life? What do you want to attract? What do you want to create? And lastly, we'll stand in the I am with all of those things put together and see how they realign and resonate in your mind, heart, and body so that you could choose your intention, your focus, your priorities, your choices, and your actions. All right, so let's start right away by speaking your truth, right? So, what I'm going to offer you to do is choose at least one thing, right? It doesn't need to be a big thing, but something that's a little bit nagging to you in your life right now so that we can do an exercise that's really touching on something that's really tangible, right? Something that you can really see the changes in the next few days, maybe few weeks. So take one subject, one thing that's bothering you, one thing you say, oh, if this would be fixed, geez, would that be good? It doesn't need to be a big thing. It doesn't need to be an emotional thing. It doesn't need to be one of those things you've been working on for the past 25 years. So start something small, right? Something that's just nagging. Sometimes one of the things I've used to work on was like when you're in line, right, at the supermarket, and all of a sudden there's like anger building into you, or when you have to pay and technology is not helping you out and paying. So just some things that you would love to have fixed, right? Or realigned with who you are in the now. It could be also a small healthy habit that you want to put into place. It could be eating more healthier. It could be walking a little bit more. It could be meeting people. With this pandemic, we've been like socially disconnected. So how do I reconnect with people, rekindle with my social life? Those are all really interesting subjects that you could explore. So choose one, right? And once you have this subject, we're going to start with speak your truth. So, what is good in there, right? Because anything that we do, there's always a purpose to it. Even if it's been a long, long, long time forgotten, there's always something good. There's a reason we started doing this habit, or we started reacting this way, or we started thinking that way. So, what's the positive in there? What are the goodies in that situation that we'd like to keep, right? That's interesting. That's feeding us, nourishing us in a way or another. So, speak your truth about that situation. Part of it is part of me like getting angry is, oh, at least I'm getting that anger out. I'm angry about so many things right now through the pandemic because I can't do this and I can't do this and I can't do that. So having a place to vent my anger is good. Maybe it's not supposed to be doing it in line, but that's the good part, right? And then the second part is where's the bad, right? What's the stuff that you want less of? That's not good. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking who I am when I do this. It's not helping me become who I want to be or become the person I've always been. There's something off when I do this, right? So the good and the bad, right? What you like and you want more of, what you don't like so much and you'd love to have less of. And once you have those two sides of the situation looked at, right? Again, observation, not with judgment, just yeah, well, there's some good and there's some bad, and there's always a little bit of both in those types of situations. But it's when those situations becomes a little bit more bad than good that we need to look into them, right? So where's the resistance to change in all of this? If you speak honestly to yourself, you know this has been nagging you, right? So why haven't you done anything about it until now? What is it that's like keeping you back from trying something new, from deciding to act differently, from choosing to avoid those type of situations, or better yet, putting yourself in a better type of situation? What type of relationship boundaries do you have or do you not have that may be creating this situation? So what's the resistance, right? Why is it that you haven't moved forward to changing this before now? And again, the idea is not to start like self-critiquing yourself. It's just to notice, well, what's stopping me? Because in that, what's stopping me, there's part of the solution. Wanting to be healthy, but having a best friend that's always going out to restaurants every single night and inviting you with, it may be hard because part of you doesn't want to lose that friendship. But at the same time, part of you wants to be eating healthy. So, what kind of boundary or communication or relationship can you put into place that's going to be easier for you to talk to your friend and say, well, I love going out with you, but I would like to have some nights where I can stay at home and actually work on this habit that I have and I'm trying to put into place to eat healthier, right? So it's in that pattern. Where is that resistance? So knowing where that resistance is becomes key to sort of like upgrading yourself, right? And the honesty in there feels really revealing, right? It's sort of like, oh, yeah, I know I haven't been my best, but I also know that because I'm looking at myself right now, I know I can make myself better. And part of that is powerful because part of that is a vow you're making to yourself. Just the fact that you're here, sitting down, looking into all of this is an indication that you're already ready to move forward. All right. So now that you've had the situation, you've identified the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything that's keeping you into that pattern of negativity, look at the power words, right? So, what power words trigger that negative pattern or that negative situation or that negative emotion? Normally it's very clear. You can hear it, right? The minute you're starting something, start feeling something coming up, the words start appearing, and oftentimes they come out of your mouth without you even realizing that you're saying it, right? And it's funny because if you ask your friends what the power words are, both negative and positive, they will so easily identify them. So that's really interesting. So what's the power words? The negative ones that trigger that negative pattern, the not so liking, I would love to change feeling or situation. And now imagine what power words would be positive, would be empowering, would help you stand back and let that reaction go instead of falling into it. So it could be, yeah, I'm not liking myself. I'm so tired. I want this, I want that, and I can't get it. And the line's so long. And whatever the thoughts are building in the negative pattern. Also notice when, because most of the time there is a situation where you haven't reacted in that negative fashion, right? So what's there? What are the words are you using? What's the emotion, the power words that are living inside of you that for some reason, in some different moments, doesn't push you to react, right? So I'm calm, I'm not stressed today, I'm on vacation. I know that's a phrase for me, right? When I'm on vacation, I have the patience to deal with mostly anything. There's no rush, right? Because I'm on vacation. So, what's the power words that are there that help you stand in your power and stand in just breathing and not getting pulled into that negative pattern? So, now you have the power words you could play with, right? Now that you know these power words, what is your intention for this situation? How would you like to react? What would you like for it to become? Who do you want to become in that situation? So there's always 2 or 3 ways of identifying your intention. You could say, well, I'd love to have this reaction instead of this one, right? And the focus is, I'd love to have this reaction, period, right? The instead of this one needs to be said at one point, but eventually you just let it go because I just want this type of reaction. The other way of phrasing it is, well, I would like to be in this emotion or in this state or in this sensed feeling. I would like to stand tall. I'd like to have patience. I'd like to be calm. I'd like to be communicative. I'd like to be clearer. So those are the words that, so there's the situation and then there's the you. And then there's something bigger than that, right? Where you can literally look at the situation and say, well, I don't even want to get into that type of situation. So what would be my intention to put boundaries so that I do not get pulled into those situations? So my intention becomes more of respecting myself enough not to be pulled in there, being strong enough or clear minded enough to hear the triggers and not fall into that system. So there's different ways that you can name that intention. So what is that intention? What do you desire in that instead of that situation? Not in that, instead of that situation. Right? Because if you start putting the intention on how do I want to react in that type of situation, you're already attracting that type of situation. So what you want to create is something instead of that situation. And that's when it gets interesting. All right, so you've got the now, what I want to attract. Bring back those positive words, right? Intention, and I bring back those positive words. So this is what I desire instead of the other thing that I'm not liking or not comfortable in or need tweaking. So this is what I desire. This is my intention going forward. And these are the power words I'm going to focus on to make that happen. Now, what becomes interesting is before, if the situation that normally triggers you is when you go to shopping, well, then before going shopping, you can put in those positive words into your energy, refocus on that intention, and go from there, right? So already you're going to be vibrating at another level so that you don't drop in there. Plus, you'll be activating your programs both in your mind, your heart, and even in your body, right? Where you won't be triggered. You're just going to be able to stay in that desired intention of being calm or being communicative or being clear or being respected, right? So see how that works. All right. And now what I want you to do is focus. We're going to come back to the first step, which was the I am, right? So because part of us is, programs are there, right? The more we use them, the more they become highways. So the last program you have that's not so good, well, it's been there for a while, right? So what we wanted to do is disconnect from yesterday and disconnect from tomorrow and just come back to the I am of today and see what is there in that program, right? In the new program we're trying to make with this intention. So if we say, because part of us is going to say, yeah, I've tried that before, not going to work. Well, you're not the same person that you were before. We've already talked through so many different subjects and seeing this through different perspectives so that your programming can be changed now, because you've actually looked at the good and the bad in both senses, right? You've looked at every possibility, what is worth for you and what is not worthy for you. So now you can go back and say, well, I know that's how I used to react. And I know how this is what I've always been told I should react, or I was hoping eventually I could react. So let those go, fade away slowly, just let them fade away and come back to the I am. The I am is the you that have always existed and will always exist. The I am is the part of you is connected to this human life and connected to your divine self, eternal self. The I am is where you stand in the now, the only place where you can take action and you can feel and you can love and you can become. So I am. Make sure that that I am is in your mind, right? Just breathe into it. And as you breathe into that I am, bring in your intention, your new intention, and push out anything and everything that doesn't make sense or is no longer useful for you. So pull it in and push it out and let that I am just settle down in your mind and see how the power words are now resonating in your mind as you're focusing at I am in that situation. I am living my intention. I am creating that intention. And now settle down in your heart, right? Again, see how that intention pulls down, settles in, and at first you're going to say, there's going to be like contradiction, right? In all of the emotions, in the past deception, disappointments, and in the desire and the hope and the dream, right? So just let them settle down. Say, this is my intention now. This is my new intention. And in this new intention, what I intend to attract are these types of emotions. So speak those emotions, right, to yourself. Again, the words have importance and they matter, they resonate. So this is what I'm wanting to attract. Use those power words, pull those power words into your heart and let go of the negative ones that don't work. Pull the positive words into your heart. Just let them settle down and see how all of a sudden you feel empowered. You feel more open. You can actually see my body changing just by focusing on those power words, right? On the positive power words, and just let go of the negative ones. Now look into your body. Ask your body to help you create your desire, right? It's a co-creation. Life is a co-creation. Like I said so many times before, we cannot do this alone. Just inside ourselves, imagine how many parts we have that needs to contribute in the same direction so that we can actually move forward. Well, getting your body on board with your intention is really, really magical. So ask your body, are you willing to help me out in creating that intention in my reality of the now, right? Again, you're going to feel it move a little bit, right? At first it doesn't, right? No, and well, yeah, and no, and all right, well, let it settle down so that eventually what you feel is a yes, right? So how are you going to help me create this intention in the now? What do you need to help me create that in the now? Right? Oftentimes, one of the reasons we go into negative emotion is because our body is already stressed or already exhausted or pushed in one direction or another. So, what does the body need to feel nourished, to feel relaxed, to feel secure, to feel hopeful? right? Just with those 4 words, you probably sense your body going, so see what that means for you, right? On a regular basis. Who are you now? And what does your body need to create that desire? Interesting, isn't it? All of a sudden, there might be some new habits that are popping up in your mind, or some thinking that, yeah, well, next time I'm going to go, I'm going to make sure I eat something before going to the grocery store. Or maybe next time before going for a power walk, I'll make sure to have my water with me. Or instead of being stressed, I'll go at a moment where I know I don't have anything planned right after so that I have plenty of time to adapt to the situation and come back without feeling stressed. So, see what your body is telling you you need to nourish it and to secure it and to empower it in the situations that you want changed. Now, see when you pull it all together, right? You have the intention with the desire and the emotions, creating a one direction for all of your cells, for all of your body, for all of your actions, for all of your choices. You now know how you want to be to receive those situations and to react to those situations. And your body has told you what it needs to interact with that situation without getting overwhelmed, without getting exhausted, staying aligned, staying poised, staying empowered, and staying true to yourself. So what's interesting is as we're going along and we're bringing the truth, the words, the now, what I want to attract and the desire, and then pushing it down into the body and letting that body have a conversation with the mind and the heart, right? And aligning everything together so that there is only one truth. There is only one authentic cue. There's only one vibration to meet those situations in the future. Now, who are you, right? What is the now full of for you? What is now possible? And what is different? What, with just this conversation, is already different about you, about your perception, about how you will interact with the world, and how you are already interacting differently with the world that's around you. So that's the fast forward to now. So anytime you are anywhere else, come back, right? Speak your truth. Find the positive power words, attract your intention, speak your intention, live, feel your intention, and go back into the body to know what is the right aligned situation, reaction, action, communication needs to exist now. So instead of like, and going out of control, you bring it in, and then the reaction is already a more positive and empowering one. So I hope you enjoyed the 5-day challenge, fast forward to now. I'm going to be offering in the next month or so, 2 different programs. So the first one is going to be a weekend program where what I offer you is a life momentum manifesto. So it's an exercise I do every 6 months that help you imagine, right, the life of your dreams, envision who you want to be, envision it as if you already were that person today, and see how from that image, from that perspective, you can walk it back and see, well, where do I need to tweak it? And that becomes an interesting conversation. And what I've learned is by doing that, I'm talking to my body, I'm talking to my soul, I'm talking to my unconscious mind. And so many things happen without me actually investing attention or time or effort into it. It just simply happens. So it's an interesting way of using identity, strategy, and energy to bring all that together and have a direction. So if you're interested in all of this, don't hesitate to talk to me or send me an email or send me a message. I'm so looking forward to hearing how this is all changing for you and how your now actually is meaningful, right? Because if the now isn't meaningful, then life is different. Life is not as open as it could be. It's not as creative as it could be. It's not as savory as it could be, right? So decide on what your life should taste like. Is it chocolate chip mint cookies, or is it vanilla ice cream, or is it lemon meringue pie? I mean, we all have this amazing taste we would like to taste every single day. Choose whatever is the best delight for you and see how you can taste that beautiful life of yours every single day. So, thank you for being with me and sharing this journey, and I look forward to seeing you again.